everyone, and welcome back to the Dividend Reaper YouTube channel where we talk investments, making money, saving money, minimalism, and much, much more. I'm Brad, and I'm your host, and today I want to talk about the newest acquisition into the Dividend Reaper portfolio, or as I like to call it, the Dividend Scythe. Reaping dividends daily. Monthly? Probably whenever the companies want to go ahead and pay out dividends. But for this month's acquisition, I've moved into a new holding that wasn't currently in the Dividend Scythe already, and that was Consolidated Edison. I've been eyeing the stock for a long time, mainly for the ability it has to stay consistent. Consolidated Edison, if you're not aware, is a holding company, but primarily they're a utility company because they hold a bunch of utilities in the city of New York. They provide electric, steam, and gas to residents through transmission. With that being the case, it is a pretty highly regulated area of the market, but I'm happy about that because with lots of regulation comes few surprises other than the occasional huge, oh my gosh, life-altering surprise. And I'm willing to go ahead and risk a bet on that when it comes to a company that's paid dividends as long as Consolidated Edison has. The big things I really liked about Consolidated Edison that really caught my eye, number one, they have a really healthy profit margin. We're talking about over 10% in the profit margin section of their quarterly statements and annual statements, which makes it very healthy in my mind to continue paying the dividend with a margin that realistically, even though they're seeing lots of regulation, still has a lot of room for wiggling if you need to adjust. The other thing I really like about it too, it has a really healthy payout ratio in my mind. Not the healthiest I'd like to see because it's still in the 60s, but it is still under 70%, which is typically where my own cutoff is. I don't like to aim for stocks that have a payout ratio of over 70% because I feel like at that point, unless you're, let's say, a REIT that's legally obligated to pay a certain percentage of dividends, I think that it's getting to that kind of sketchy territory where they might actually cut off those dividends, and I just don't deem it safe enough for my own portfolio that I want to be pretty basic. Next on the list, I really like the fact that the metrics themselves are just strong. And I feel like you can kind of say this for most of the utility companies out there, which is why if you look at the Dividend Scythe, there's a lot of utility companies in there. And it's because it's safe. And if I really had to boil it down into just one sentence that you could say about this stock and a couple of the other utility stocks that I own, it's a boring stock. It really is a boring stock if you don't take into account the fact that the dividends are really relatively safe in my opinion. But it's faithful. It's really faithful, and utility companies are just extremely good at being faithful, save for really some bad years of weather that just don't really give them a lot of profit margins. But considering the earth has been relatively heating up, I know especially here where I live, the heat index has just been rising crazy every single year. I feel pretty comfortable knowing that the electricity use is just going to go up, especially with more people plugging in electric cars too. I think our utility companies are going to get a little bit of work, and I don't see people cutting them off anytime soon. So really, again, summing it up, boring, but faithful and safe, in my opinion. But to go ahead and wrap it up, as far as the trade itself went, this added an additional a little bit over $80 to the annual dividend income for the Dividend Scythe, totaling a grand total of $1,128.14 in new annual dividends, which means that is exactly $1,128.14 that I myself did not have to work for, which I consider truly passive income. And there really is nothing better than that, people, except my wife. Hi, honey. Love you. But that's it for me. Until next time, everyone, this has been Brad with DividendReaper.com. And if you like these videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, or if you're looking at other stocks that you think I'd be interested in, make sure to notice and comment in the comment section to let me know. Till next time, though, See you later.